Before the stars were burning, before the heavens moved, darkness filled the waters, the silent deep was still. No dawn had touched the heavens, no breath had stirred the sky. Creation waited in the dark until your voice replied. Your voice called light from the darkness. Your word awakened the skies. Heaven and earth stood trembling at the sound of your holy voice. Your voice called light from the darkness. Night fled before your command. Glory filled the endless heavens. All creation held in your hand. The silence broke in wonder as light began to rise. The deep gave way to morning, and fire filled the skies. The heavens stretched before you, the oceans found their place, and every star awakened at the whisper of your grace. Your voice called light from the darkness. Your word awakened the skies. Heaven and earth stood trembling at the sound of your holy voice. Your voice called light from the darkness. Night fled before your command. Glory filled the endless heavens. All creation held in your hand. Your word still speaks through the ages. Your power carries the dawn. The voice that spoke in the beginning is the voice that still calls us on. From darkness into glory, from silence into praise, all heaven sings the story of the God who spoke our days. Your voice called light from the darkness. Your word awakened the skies. Heaven and earth stand forever by the power of your holy voice. Your voice called light from the darkness. Night fled before your command. Glory fills the endless heavens. All creation held in your hand. The voice that called the morning and set the stars in place. The hands that formed the mountains reached down and shaped a face. Then you drew near and breathed into the dust the breath of life, a gift that came from you. You placed him in the garden where every good thing grew. and said it was not good. You gave to him another to share the life you'd made together in the garden, with nothing yet to hide. They stood before their Maker with nothing to divide. The heavens showed your greatness, the garden showed your care. The God who spoke creation chose to meet them there. You needed nothing from them, yet chose to have them near. The God who filled the heavens was the God who came near.
When the morning of the garden still walked gently through the leaves, light was resting on the rivers, peace was breathing in the trees. Every branch was full of blessing, every path was bright and wide. God himself would walk among them, nothing there was left to hide. But a whisper moved through Eden, soft as shadow through the air. Did God truly place a boundary? Did he keep his glory there? Fruit of wisdom hung before them, golden in the serpent's claim. Eyes that long for something hidden, hearts that lean toward knowing flame. And the fruit was raised in silence, and the garden held its breath. Hands once filled with holy wonder reached and chose the path of death. And he ate. Suddenly the light grew distant, suddenly their hearts were bare. Leaves of shame became their covering, fear was trembling in the air. Where the voice of God once welcomed, now the trees became their shield. Where his presence brought them comfort, now their trembling stood revealed. Then the sound they once had cherished moved again through Eden's trees. Footsteps walking in the garden carried on the evening breeze. And a voice that formed the mountains called into the fading day. Adam, where are you? Silence answered from the shadows, where the broken hid in fear. Dust would mark the road before them, exile drawing ever near. Yet beneath the weight of sorrow, through the judgment sharply spoken, rose a promise quiet and certain, that the serpent would be broken. Though the garden fell to silence, though the gates would close behind. Hope was written in the sentence, mercy waiting down through time. And the whisper of redemption moved where sorrow first began. For the one who crushed the serpent would restore the fall of man.
When morning first embraced the earth and life began to rise, He breathed His life in fragile dust and opened human eyes. They walked beneath the golden sun in wonder and in grace, and every heart beat strong and free within that sacred place. But shadows gathered slowly then, where innocence had grown, and voices meant for songs of peace turned cruel and hard as stone. The fields were filled with fear and blood, where children used to run, and truth lay buried in the dust beneath the darkened sun. The hearts He formed had turned to stone. The love He gave was overthrown. The earth now groaned with every breath beneath the weight of sin and death, and every tear the heavens kept fell silent in the dark and deep. The world He made had lost its way, and grief filled heaven that day. Yeah, and grief filled heaven that day. Beneath its pride, the violence written in their hearts left mercy cast aside. Though patience called to them for years and mercy spoke again, their path had chosen darker roads that led the world to sin. The hearts He formed had turned to stone. The love He gave was overthrown. The earth now groaned with every breath beneath the weight of sin and death, and every tear the heavens kept fell silent in the dark and deep. The world He made had lost its way, and grief filled heaven there. And grief filled heaven that day, and heaven stood in silent grief above a world in pain. The earth grew still beneath the sky before the falling rain. The earth was filled with violence, every heart had turned away. The cries of broken innocence rose like thunder to the heavens that day. The maker of the morning looked upon what man had done, and grief fell like a shadow across the rising of the sun. But in a world grown dark with ruin, one man walked a different way, and mercy found a servant
you're about to pray. Build a vessel in the silence when the skies are clear and wide. Trust the voice that shaped the oceans when the rising waters rise. And when the storm begins to gather and the thunder splits the sky, it is not the wood that holds you, it is the hand of God Most High. Then the heavens broke in sorrow, and the fountains of the deep rose like mountains in the darkness, over valleys fast asleep. The world was lost beneath the waters, every tower swept away, but a fragile ark was carried through the fury of the rain. Not by strength of human building, not by skill of mortal hand, but by mercy moving softly over waters none could stand. And when the storm begins to gather and the thunder splits the sky, it is not the wood that holds you, it is the hand of God Most High. Through the night of endless waters, through the judgment of the deep, through the roaring of the tempest, God alone their souls would keep. And when the thunder lost its fury and the restless seas grew calm, hope was floating on the waters, resting in the Father's palm. For the storm may rage around you and the waves may climb the sky, but the ones the Lord remembers never face the flood alone. The thunder finally faded, the endless rain grew still, the fury of the waters began to lose its will. The deep that once was raging now whispered to the ground, and slowly through the silence the ark was resting found. The mountains rose before them, a world washed clean and bare. The door of wood swung open, and living breath met air. The earth still held the memory of judgment in its shroud, but hope stepped from the shadow into the quiet clouds. He built an altar slowly upon the waiting land. The smoke rose toward the heavens from Noah's trembling hands. The silence held a promise that mercy would allow, and heaven bent toward earth again to speak a solemn vow. Never the water shall cover all the earth, never again destruction shall swallow every birth. The storm has spent its fury, my covenant I vow. I set my bow of mercy across the waiting cloud.
touched the heavens where rain and glory meet. A quiet arc of color bent gently through the deep. Not a weapon drawn for battle, but mercy written down. The promise of the ages, the bow within the clouds. Never again the water shall cover all the earth. Never again destruction shall swallow every birth. Though hearts may wander often and broken vows may bow, my mercy will remember the bow within the clouds. The earth spoke one language, every voice the same. One people gathered with a single aim. Across the plains of Sinai, their cities began to rise, brick upon the mortar, stone against the skies. Come, let us build forever a tower to the throne. Let us make a name that the world will know. Before the winds can scatter, before the years grow old, let us raise our glory higher than the gold. Brick upon the brick they lay, higher day by day. Hands that once sought heaven now tried to carve their way. But the Lord looked down from heaven upon the tower of pride, the work of human glory reaching to the sky. If one voice makes them mighty, if one word makes them strong, nothing they imagine will ever seem too wrong. Come, let us go among them, let their tongues divide, let their words fall broken, let their voices collide. And the voices turn to chaos, the words no longer clear. Brother could not answer the ones he once held dear. Plans fell into silence, the tower ceased to rise. Human pride lay scattered across divided skies. So the nations spread like rivers across the earth and sea. The tower stood unfinished, a monument to vanity. And the name of that place was Bible, where every tongue was torn, where pride had tried to climb to heaven, and confusion there was born. For heaven is not conquered by the towers men proclaim. The road to God is never built by the
In the quiet of the evening, when the desert wind was still, a man stood at the doorway of a worn and weathered hill. He had walked through many seasons, he had waited many years. Still the promise seemed so distant, still the silence filled his fears. Then the voice that shaped the heavens spoke again into the night, calling one man from the shadows to step out into the light. Step outside beneath the heavens, lift your eyes above the scars. If you think that you can number them, go and count the stars. Count the stars above you, if you can count them all. So shall be the children from the faith of one man's call. Count the stars before you, shining in the endless sky, a promise written in the heavens by the God Most High. Through the years the world had wandered, through the pride of human hands, from the gardens once in glory to the towers built by man. Yet the God who spoke in Eden had not turned his face away. In the quiet of the desert, he began his plan that day. Through a man who chose to trust him, through a faith that would not bend, God would build a mighty nation, and his mercy without end. Count the stars above you, if you can count them all. So shall be the children from the faith of one man's call. Count the stars before you, shining in the endless sky, a promise written in the heavens by the God Most High. From that night beneath the heavens, through the ages yet to be, every promise God has spoken still shines for all to see. Count the stars above you, still they burn for those who trust. For the God who made the heavens keeps his promises to us.
You gave young Joseph dreams of promise before he knew where they would lead, through roads he never would have chosen. You were working what he could not see.
The road went down through loss and sorrow, from freedom into foreign lands, through years when nothing looked like promise. Still his life was in your hands. When your hand was hidden, you were working all along. Through the years that looked like silence, you were faithful, you were strong. When your hand was hidden, not one promise slipped away. What Joseph could not see before him, you were shaping day Then famine reached across the nations, and hunger came upon the land. The one once lost had been made ready to save the promise in your hand. When God's hand seems hidden from us and we cannot see the way, trust the God who worked through Joseph. He is working still today.
Another morning in the wilderness. Another road he'd walked before. A shepherd far away from Egypt, with no reason to return anymore. Then fire appeared upon the mountain, a flame that burned but did not take. He turned aside to see the wonder, and heard his name beside the flame. Moses, Moses. He answered softly, "Here I am," and took another step toward the fire. "Do not come any closer. Take off your sandals. The place where you are standing is holy ground." He slipped the sandals from his feet and bowed before the flame. Then heard the God of Abraham call Isaac, Jacob by their names. The shepherd hid his face in fear. No longer did he dare to see the God his fathers worshipped was speaking now to him. "I have seen my people suffering. I have heard them when they cry. I know the sorrow they have carried, and I have come down to deliver them."
You are the God who sees, you are the God who hears, the God who knows the suffering hidden through the years. When your people thought you silent, you had heard them all the same. And there beside a burning bush, you called a shepherd by his name. Then came the words he never expected. "I will send you to Pharaoh." Moses looked at all he was and knew that it could not be so. "Who am I to stand before him? Who am I to lead them free?"
"I will be with you." And suddenly the answer was never who Moses could be.
But when I stand before your people and they ask me who you are, when they ask the name that sent me from this wilderness so far,
what shall I say? I am that I am. Tell them, I am has sent you.
You are the God who sees, you are the God who hears, the God who knew their suffering
and you are. I am. He came there as a shepherd, with nothing but his name. He left knowing the God who called him, and the name above every name. They walked beneath an open sky, no chains upon their hands. The night that held them captive was fading in the sand. For the first time they were leaving what they thought they'd never leave. And the God who brought them out of Egypt was leading them toward the sea. Then dust began to rise behind them, and thunder shook the ground. The army they had left in Egypt was coming for them now. Before them stretched the endless water, behind them Pharaoh drew near, and all the joy of newfound freedom was swallowed up by fear. They cried, "Why bring us out here, only to watch us die?" But Moses said, "Stand still and see the Lord who hears your cry." There was no road before them, there was nowhere left to flee. But the God who broke their chains was still the God beside the sea. What looked like the end before them was where his power would be seen. For when there was no way to follow, God made a road between. Then came the word to move ahead, though still the waters stood. No path appeared before their eyes, no reason said they should. Moses raised his hand above them, as the Lord had told him to, and a wind began to cross the night. Then the sea was split in two. The waters rose on either side, the seabed turned to ground, and where there had been only water, a road was suddenly found. They walked between those walls of sea, their children by their side, while the God who led them out of bondage led them safely through the night. There was no road before them, there was nowhere left to flee. But the God who broke their chains was still the God beside the sea. What looked like the end before them was where his power would be seen. For when there was no way to follow, God made a road between. The army followed after them into the path God made. But what had opened for his people would not remain that way. Israel reached the other shore, and morning found them free. Behind them stood no army, only the restless sea. They had feared the sea would stop them, they had feared the strength behind. They could see no road before them, but God had seen it all the time. The place they thought would end them became the place they knew. The God who led them to the water was the God who brought them through. When there is no road before us, when we cannot see the way, the God who stood beside that sea has never ceased to reign. The waters may not part
before us as they did so long ago. But the God who made a road through the sea is still the God we know. They thought the sea had trapped them. God knew it was the road.
Moses knew this mountain well. He'd stood here once before, alone beside a burning bush, and heard the voice of God. But what was coming on that mountain would make even Moses afraid. God told the people, "Prepare yourselves, for I am coming down." They washed their clothes and waited while Moses marked the ground. A boundary stood between them and the mountain they could see. The God who brought them out of Egypt was coming down in majesty. Morning came with thunder, lightning tore across the sky. A trumpet sounded louder as smoke began to rise. The mountain shook beneath them, for the Lord descended there. And all the people trembled, and even Moses quaked with fear. Then from the fire came the voice, "I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other gods before me." The people answered together, "All the Lord has said we'll do." They pledged themselves before him and swore that they'd be true. Then Moses climbed the mountain, and days passed while they waited. But while the mountain still burned, their hearts began to turn. They gathered gold among them and fashioned what they chose. They bowed before an image made by their own hands. The God above was living, the God below was not, and everything they promised lay broken before God. Moses pleaded for the people, and God did not forsake them. There would be judgment for their sin, but judgment was not the end. Moses climbed the mountain once more, with tablets cut anew. And there the God of Sinai proclaimed what still was true. I am merciful and gracious, long-suffering and true, abundant in my goodness. And Moses bowed his head. I never stood beneath that mountain, I never watched it burn, I never heard the trumpet or trembled at those words. But I have known your goodness and still have turned away. I've made promises and broken them, I've needed grace again. I've never made a calf of gold, but I've placed things before you. I've known the road you wanted and still gone where I chose. I've wondered how you could forgive me when I knew better all along. Then I remember what you
told them when everything had gone wrong. Merciful and gracious, long-suffering, Lord, I need it everywhere. Not because my failures don't matter, not because you call wrong right, but because the God who judges is the God who gives us mercy. The holy God of Sinai is still the God I need. Merciful, gracious, long-suffering. Thank God you are long-suffering with stiff-necked people like me.
David sat within his house. The Lord had given rest. He looked upon the cedar walls, and something stirred within. I dwell within a house of cedar, while God's ark rests beneath a tent. And there within the heart of David a worthy thought began. Nathan heard what David wanted. Go and do what's in your heart, for the Lord is surely with you. But before the morning came, the word of God came unto Nathan. Go and tell my servant David, would you build a house for me? Then hear what I will say. I took you from the pasture, from following the sheep. I made you ruler of my people. I have been with you wherever you went. I cut off your enemies before you, and I made your name renowned. I have given rest from all your enemies. Now hear what I will do. Would you build a house for me, a dwelling for my name? When your days are finished and you rest beside your fathers, I will raise your seed behind you and establish his kingdom. Would you build a house for me? I will build you a house.
Hey! He shall build a house for my name, and I will establish his throne. I will be to him a father,
And he shall be my son. Your house and your kingdom shall be established before me. Your throne shall be established according to my word.
Then David went before the Lord and quietly sat down. Who am I, O Lord God, that you have brought me here? And what is this house of mine that you have spoken of days to come? Yet even this was small in your sight, O Lord God.
What more can David say to you? For you know your servant's heart. There is none like you, O Lord God. There is no God beside you. Now establish what you've spoken. Let your name be magnified. You have promised this, O Lord God. Do as you have said. And still the words of God remained. The promise he had made. Your house and your kingdom shall be established before me. Your throne shall be established forever. Forever.
The throne had known its kings, and the years had come and gone. Some had walked before the Lord, and many had turned away. The kingdom once united had been broken by their hands, but the word that God had spoken still remained across the years. Then a voice rose through the darkness. The people who walked in night have seen the coming of a light that darkness cannot hide. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall rest upon his shoulders. Wonderful Counselor, the mighty God, the Prince of Peace, and of his government and peace there shall be no end. Upon the throne of David he shall establish it with justice. The words once spoken over David were sounding here again. A throne, a kingdom, no end. Then another picture formed, a tree cut to the ground, the house of Jesse standing like a stump upon the earth. But from the roots that seemed forgotten, a tender shoot would rise, and the Spirit of the Lord would rest upon him there. Then from a little town, too small among the great, another prophet spoke the name from which a ruler would come. Bethlehem, from you shall come a ruler for the people of the Lord. His goings forth are from of old, from days beyond our sight. A child,
a son,
a branch
from Jesse,
a ruler from Bethlehem,
a throne that has no end.
someone is coming. But then the picture changed. A servant was despised, rejected and acquainted with grief. He carried griefs that were not his, and sorrows not his own. He was wounded for transgressions, bruised for iniquities, and like a lamb before its shearers, he opened not his mouth. What did these words mean?
A servant bearing sorrow,
Rejected and despised,
wounded for transgressions,
bearing what was not his own. Another peace was spoken, but how could all this be? Still the prophets kept on speaking, though generations disappeared. Their words remained among the people, carried down through passing years. A child would come,
a son be given,
a branch would rise,
a ruler from Bethlehem,
a servant bearing sorrow,
a throne that has no end.
The picture was not finished yet. The promises remained. No mother held the promised child,
No shepherds hurried through the night. No star had called the nations, not yet. The words had all been spoken. The waiting had begun. And through the voices of the prophets, one thought remained: someone is coming. Someone is coming.